Welcome to Shoelights. It's been a minute because I'm setting up a studio situation here, and let me go to the wide cam here. You can see that I'm surrounded by equipment, and one of the cool things about the new setup is that I can have guest hosts. So let's go to the guest host, Tim McMahon from Australia. You're on the air.
G'day, welcome from Melbourne.
That's right. So we are going to talk today about the Arkflex and the Seeker 4. So let's start with the Seeker 4. Let me go to that now. So I got the Seeker 4 on the camera here. And, I got to tell you, here's a funny story. The reason why my review is coming out so late, and I'm not doing a full review here, I'm going to just do a quick thing because it goes on sale tomorrow. But I wanted to hopefully explain something to other people that might have had the same problem, which was, the Seeker line for so long has been multi-emitter. And this guy, I saw Seeker 4, I thought, okay, this is just a non-pro version, the Seeker 4 with 4 emitters. Yawn, don't care. And then I realized, no, it's a single emitter. So that is of much interest to me. What do you think about single emitters, Tim?
It's nice to use the traditional type of torch so you can get that a little bit more throw when you're walking around. It's got so many different types of quad emitters, dual emitters, and it can get a bit boring. And it's like you probably got a dozen of them or several of them, but it's always good to be able to pull out just a single emitter and be able to like shine down at a long range and identify stuff clearly, which you don't really get that level of throw with like the quad emitters.
Well, one of the things I noticed about single emitters is that because you're projecting light in a very intense way, like in a beam, here, I'm going to show that on screen actually. You can see how it's just an intense hot spot in the middle here. Because of that, I find that you're putting light where you want it, and it turns out that you turn the output of the flashlight down, right? It's like when you're flooding so much, it's like you're over illuminating, right? It's like you're killing the battery much faster than you intend to because you're throwing light places you don't need it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of moonlight modes too, especially on the single emitters. Like
Right.
really, really low modes.
Another interesting thing I want to point out about the Seeker 4 is it's kind of simplified in a lot of different ways, meaning that it doesn't come with the crazy holster. It doesn't come with the holster frills where you pull it out and unlocks and all that. And it doesn't have a rotary dial. It's got just a push button on the side here. It has a little light in the middle to tell you kind of general, green, yellow, red battery. But it doesn't have those die cut status indicators on the side. So it's scaled down. Now, here's what I think about that. First off, if this comes at a reduced price, which it does. The Seeker 4 Pro is $99 on sale, normally $140, and this thing is $76.99, normally $109. So it's cheaper, and being cheaper, that sounds good to me. But here's the other thing. I don't know if I want, 30 steps of illumination when we're talking about a thrower. I mean, what do you think about that? Do you simplified interfaces for throwers?
Yeah, really prefer like just even like a 4 or 5 mode interface, just to have like low, medium, high, and turbo, and maybe that moonlight mode if you can get like 1 lumen, that can be great. Because having like a ramping mode, there's so many different options, and sometimes you just want to pick up a torch, click it, and have it go to a particular mode and not mess around too much.
Yeah, well, I was looking at this one, and it's, got a press to hold, and it cycles through low, medium, high, low, medium, high. There is from off a press and hold to go to kind of a low, but it's like a 5 lumen. It's not like a sub lumen. And then there's the double click to go to turbo. So it's the very familiar interface we're used to.
Yep. I'm seeing like a butterfly type pattern on the bottom there. What's that?
No, great that you pointed that out. They've gotten rid of the MCC on this one. It's USB. So let me get a close up of that. There is a door here that just rotates, just mechanical. And when you flip it, and you can flip it either way, it reveals a USB-C port on the back here, which is waterproof on its own right. So this doesn't have to be closed to be waterproof. It's just basically a physical barrier against jamming things in the port, but it's fully waterproof all the time. This is a fully USB-C powered light now. There's no MCC on it. That's interesting. I think a lot of people are going to like that.
Yep. Yeah, probably a big consideration for. There's probably some magnetic charging fans out there that are like, oh, pretty heartbroken. But yeah, USB-C is quite popular too, and a lot of my torches support.
I mean, I like MCC. I do. I really like it. But
Yep.
but some people also complain about, they're in the shop and the magnetic filings getting into it and stuff. So yeah, so this does not have a magnetic tail. This has just got the door and the USB-C. So that's basically it. I mean, I'm not going to go into any more detail on this product except to say that modability is again high on this because the bezel is just screwed in, so you could take a strap wrench, break that free. It's an XHP 70.3 cool white emitter. You could throw in a high CRI, 4,000, 5,000 in there, and it would be chef's kiss, just great. So that's the Seeker 4. Honestly, I like it more than the Seeker 4 Pro. I really do.
It looks really nice.
Let's go ahead and move to the next thing they got, which is the Arkflex. Now, the Arkflex is an Arkfeld. Okay, it's an Arkfeld, but the deal is it's got a flip-de-doo on the top here. It's got a little hinge, and you can flex the emitters from 0 to 90 degrees and any degree in between that. Okay, so I might be in the minority when 90-degree flashlights don't do it for me, but I mean, some people love them. You were just talking about that.
Yeah, just thinking like it's probably a good time it's coming out now, just in time for Christmas, because my dad loves these type of torches. He really likes the right angle torches and just the ability to like flip them around and swivel the heads and stuff. So it's right up his alley.
Well, they're definitely utilitarian, and I think that when I look at it against, let's say, the Arkfeld Pro. Now, the Arkfeld Pro, I tried to EDC this for a while, and it wasn't bad, but I'm just kind of a snob, and, the tint is mediocre. It's not great. High output. But, the utility of the UV and the laser is nice, but I'm not using it on a general basis. I'm just not using it all the time. So I kind of feel like, the Arkfeld Pro is the kind of light you carry with you to work. So when you need UV fluorescence or when you need a laser, you have it. So I understand, I think, what Olight's going for with this Arkflex. I think they're going for, a work light, a light that you take to your job. And, combined with the magnetic charging on the back, which acts like a magnet, I mean, this would be an amazing light to use like under a car while working on a car. Or working in the shop, like you need a little extra light at the drill press. You know what I mean? What do you think?
Yeah, it definitely looks like the Arkflex looks much more like a tool, whereas the Arkfeld Pro is like sort of like a high-end type of ADC thing you might take to work in an office environment, or doing like some kind of seminar, using the laser pointer. But yeah, this is much more of a tool that you'd use around the workshop, or you might even be more comfortable EDCing it around if you need to pull out a torch.
A couple notable changes is the, this is not a change, but the power indicator still on the kind of flat front face, but the button to operate it is now on the side. It feels good. I like it. I think it would reduce unintentional activations in your pocket, right? Because it's going to sit against your leg, and this is like on the side instead of on your leg or on the outside. So I think it's I think they've made some good design changes here. Also, I want to bring up really quickly that it's got 2 white emitters in here that will do 1,000 lumens. This guy during the sale is $56 or so, and it's smaller. Let's get a size comparison here. Here's let's get a better focus too. We got the Arkflex is smaller than the Arkfeld Pro, and here is a Nightcore EDC 27. So it's the smallest of those. on its side, it's also thinner as well than some of these. Well, it's deceptive. It's just the EDC is kind of thicker in one spot and thinner in the other side. It's kind of wedge shaped. So, but again, I don't know that this is going to be a light that everyone's going to run out and get, but I think that it's going to make a certain contingent super happy. Like, just like, oh, that's exactly what I wanted.
Are there many screws on the Arkflex on the outside, or just mostly on the?
Yeah, that's a good question. It is it's a closed unit. It's totally closed. There's 2 screws for the clip, of course, but other than that, I don't detect. I'm doing a slow 360 on the camera here. I don't see any way to get into this. It looks press fit and glued at the factory. Of course, it's a sealed battery. So, but I got to be honest. If this is the kind of light that you're going to take to work and just like beat it up, I think it's fine, right? I think it's fine.
Like
just beat the heck out of it. Stick it to things, illuminate things. Consider it kind of consumable, right? Like a 1.5 to 2 year life cycle. But we should mention that North America and a couple other countries, Olight now has a lifetime warranty in their products. So. It's not, they're going to probably decline anything that's abuse, but if it fails during normal use, lifetime warranty.
Looks like it could take a beating, but yeah, the reason I ask is like on that Nightcore one, you got so many screws, and I've seen a couple of people that live near the sea and they're complaining about rust. Like, okay, it doesn't, I'm in the like landlocked, so
yeah, I'm showing the screws you're talking about. There's screws all over it.
Living right next to salt water, then might be an issue, but.
There you go. So that's the new Seeker 4. Let me get it compared to, this is a modified Seeker 3. Whoops, turbo, of course. But you can see how floody this is. Seeker 3 is super floody compared to the Seeker 4 and with the reflector. Now let's take a look at the Arkflex Pro. And it's a floody light there. And then let's take a look at the Arkflex. And it's even a little more floody, actually. A little more floody on the Arkflex than even the Arkflex Pro. Maybe they're about the same. Yeah, they're about the same. But there you go, floody lights. Last thoughts?
What's the modability look like for the Arkflex?
Like, none. I mean, it's something that like Bob McBob will probably get into with razors. But I don't see, everything's press fit. Here, I'll throw this back on camera. Everything's press fit. The bezel's press fit. You're getting the light you're getting,
Yep.
But at $55, I mean, if you want a swivel light, oh, I forgot to mention this. This is one of the coolest features, right? The hinge is top notch. It's all metal. This is not plastic. And this hinge here feels great. It's got a lot of resistance. There's like 0 wiggle. And the Olight website says it's been tested 10,000 swivels. So I believe it. Feels great. Feels really well machined. All right. Well, thanks for joining us. That was 15 minutes. I thought we were going to go a little faster, but 2 products, not bad.
Cool. Thanks for having me.
All right, Tim. I'll have you on in the future. This was fun.
Cool.
All right. See you later.